So hey guys, welcome to a new episode of me flying in Explain 11. Right now we are sitting in a Cessna 172. I'm ready for the departure from runway 31 left, and the current QNH at our airport is 3031. So our altimeter is set to 3031 to the QNH of 3031, so this is perfect. I'm ready for the departure now. I have to release the parking brake and then I can start the takeoff roll. So perfect. Today I would like to show you the city of New York, and on our way back I will perform a landing and an approach at LaGuardia Airport. So that's one of the many airports you have in New York City, or you will find in New York City if you're flying there. So this is really nice. My plan is to fly to the State of Liberty, to the Empire State Building, and also to many other places here. So right now I'm climbing to our cruise altitude. I think our altitude will be for today's video 2,500 feet. So right now I'm flying at 500 feet. ,600 feet almost. Airspeed is around 90 knots. ,700 feet. So our vertical speed is between 250 feet and 500 feet per minute. Now it's above 500 feet per minute. So I should trim the aircraft. So now we are flying at 1,000 feet. And we are climbing with around 500 feet per minute vertical speed. ,1,100 feet. And our airspeed is around 80 knots, 85, 90 knots. So all nice and easy right now. I have everything under control. So right now I'm flying at an altitude of 1,800 feet. ,1,900 feet, and soon I will start to level off at an altitude of around 2,500 feet. So 450 feet left to climb. $300 feet left to climb. So now I will level off. Little bit to climb. This is not what should happen. Reducing a little bit of power because we're still climbing. Adding some power. Adding more power. And the view is really nice out of the airplane here. So the view out of the left window is really amazing. The view out of the right window is quite nice. So now I will fly to Rhode Island, to the state of Liberty. Oh, this is 30 degrees of bank angle. So I'm enjoying this little flight. It's really nice. New York is really amazing. I should definitely install some satellite scenery for New York as well. Because I think with the satellite scenery it would look even more amazing. It would look a lot more realistic. I'm just enjoying this little flight here. Enjoying the moment. Okay, I descended to 1,900 feet, but this is not a problem because we're flying over open water, so there's no terrain we need to be clear of. So there's the little island with the State of Liberty. This is probably one of the most famous monuments in the world. I mean, every child knows it, every adult knows where it is and how it looks, and yeah, the State of Liberty is really amazing. So now I will change the heading back towards the city. Now I will fly to Manhattan. Back to Manhattan. In front of there is the World Trade Center 2. So flight over VFR flight above New York City is always amazing in my opinion. So if a controller will clear you through the airspace, through the controlled traffic region, then I would say just fly through it, because probably right now the chances were never that good to get a clearance from an air traffic controller because of the ongoing pandemic, and the amount of air traffic right now is a lot lower than in the last years during the last 20 years or so. I mean, it's a really dramatic crisis right now because there are not many planes flying from Europe to the United States of America, and also from other locations outside of the United States, from other continents. There are not that many planes coming. Of course, they are flying cargo planes and also passenger planes, many passenger planes from national flights as well. But yeah, this is just how it is. It's a really bad situation, but I would say if you are a private pilot in the United States, you should try to fly in New York City right now. I think in the United States of America, the airspace is called Bravo airspace around an airport, but I'm not too sure because I'm living in Germany. I'm not really sure about the airspace in the United States. So this is just a quick disclaimer, I would say, that I'm not an expert for the airspace in the United States of America. So the Empire State Building is one of my favorite buildings in New York City. It's definitely one of my most famous buildings, of my most favorite buildings, definitely. And I really like it. Okay. So that is not the Empire State Building. That's another skyscraper. Okay. Let's fly over the Central Park. another really famous location of New York City, and a must-see, in my opinion. So from the air, from the bird's perspective, you can get a feeling for how big the Central Park really is. So this is the area of the Central Park below our airplane. And on the left side, that's of course the Hudson River. But I think we land at Teterboro. We think we land our plane in this video at Kilo Tango Echo Bravo. And the Hudson River became really famous after the successful ditch of the Airbus A320 in the Hudson River from Captain Sullenberger. Of course, it became really famous. Yeah. So I think the A320 took off from LaGuardia Airport, and LaGuardia Airport is on the right side. Yeah. So that's the airport where the famous flight took off from, and yeah. So yeah, the only option for him was to ditch the plane into the Hudson River. If he would be a little bit higher, the other option would have been the Teterboro Airport. But yeah, in my opinion, it was an acceptable decision and a very good decision that he decided that he would ditch the plane into the Hudson River, because everyone survived that incident. I would say it's not really an accident, because it's more some kind of an incident, in my opinion. Yeah, it was some kind of an accident, but it was a very minor accident, I would say, because everyone survived, and yeah, only with minor injuries, so everything went really well. So yeah, I mean, all the passengers and also the captain and the co-pilot, the whole crew was very lucky at that day, I think, probably. But also the captain and the co-pilot made the right decisions at that day. So they had a really amazing airmanship. In my opinion, Captain Sullenberger is a real hero. But now you realize how far the Teterboro Airport is from LaGuardia if you have an engine failure after a bird strike. So yeah, there's no chance to fly to that airport and land an Airbus A320 down there if you have that little altitude, because you're not prepared for it, simply because you don't expect that, because that's only really because it's so rare that you have a double engine failure because of a bird strike. So the end of today's video is really near, I would say. I can see already the runway. I will reduce the speed so that I can deploy the flaps. Flaps 1, 10 degrees of flaps. Flaps 2, 20 degrees of flaps. So Cessna 172 is really slow. Okay, we are on the high side, but this is not a problem. So now we have an engine failure. I will retract the flaps. The thing is, okay, I will restart the engine because we will not make it to the runway. So if that would have been a real engine failure, yeah, our options would be really limited. Flaps 30. So this was a really nice landing in my opinion. With a vertical speed of around 50 feet, that was a really smooth landing. So the last thing I will do now in this video, I will show you the replay of this nice and smooth landing. So that was really butter smooth in my opinion. That was a real butter landing. I would rate this landing with 8 of 10 because I was not perfectly centered on the center line. That's the only thing that was not great on this landing, or not perfect. So this is a touchdown in slow motion. Wait. I show it one time again. I need to move around a little bit to get a nice perspective. And there's the touchdown. Thank you very much for watching today's video, and see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye.